Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Godden along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they interplay. They come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And coming up of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Lady! In your face. 47 right. Look at
Stafford on first down. Got a man. It's Brown. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. A good, safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
Looking to throw again on second down. Stafford, man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards the pickup there.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a play fake it at Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Alex Anzalone gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And some room to maneuver. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on second and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right. And
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm going to hit you all
Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, this is a guy who is already among an elite group of kickers that have hit from 60-plus in an NFL game, but that's a tough ask to try and get him to produce another one here.
You're exactly right. It's elite group for a reason, isn't it? No small feat for him to hit it from that distance. This one doesn't go through. I always marvel at those guys because it's the same approach every time, the same smoothness when they swing their leg. Doesn't look like they're putting anything extra even when they're kicking it for 60-plus.
Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50, 1st and 10. Allen going to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He'll run it. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
47's the mic, boy, 47. Check, check, 47. I'm trying to collect. 47's the mic. 47's the mic.
On 2nd and 11 now. Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Let's get off the field.
Throwing now is Allen. Kamara's got the first down and then some. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 12-yard line.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside, not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, that turned out how they wanted. Run the toss play to the left side, go for that pylon, get in there.
And just being able to understand where the pylon was and sneak it in there, well done, well executed.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. A drive that time of 6 plays, and the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position, the ball comes out. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it, and even if he missed, confident in their defense that they can hold him.
They'll start on the ground with Hines. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Stafford. Wide open receiver, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They run with Hines. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. A first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. On the defensive side, these are the starters for New Orleans. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around him.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And this is picked up by the Saints. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. That'd be ideal.
Mike, 45. You must be treated.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On second down, Kamara. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. To throw, it's Allen. Loft one, deep left side here. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Hey, 260. We want this.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Here's Hines. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 29, Stafford underneath for Johnson. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Stafford on third down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Blue 60! You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be second and goal. That's what they wanted out of that first down play. Run it down there, now they're knocking on the door.
The only thing that would have been better was getting it in, and now they can do whatever they want because they've got confidence on their side. Line up quickly.
And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Nyheim Hines, his third touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. That time, a 6-play drive, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go!
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 43. So the shotgun snap to Allen. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To the air, Allen. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 23. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
Now Allen again. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And boy, close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
And now let's look at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, in our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to it.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good.
Back to you.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And an alley to David Johnson on his way. 30, 10, touchdown, Falcons. David Johnson. His first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons have retaken the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Makes it 14-10. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously, one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some.
It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. This quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like we're watching this in the film room. When you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. On first down, it's Stafford. This will be caught by Brown. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game.
Ready? 180. Check right 47. Coming to you. Coming to you.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Allen hit. He lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
That's what we do. Other way. Let go. Check, 47. Here we go.
Following the fumble recovery, Stafford getting his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. From there, we're off to check out another game. And it was the visiting LA Rams who get the victory in that one. Jared Goff, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In the game you're watching, it's Matthew Stafford who's had it working in the first half. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd and 9, Allen. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Again, it's Kamara. And Kamara has it stripped, and the Falcons grab it. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now it's Hines. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. This is Hines. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off.
Watch the screen.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. They'll try to left side. It's Hines. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Now it's Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. Throwing on first down is Allen. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 25 yards that time.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Now Allen. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
You know the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first, it's good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. A shotgun handoff to Henry. It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
I'm here all day. 47's the mic. 47's the mic. Right here, right here.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 33.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This quarterback now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And an alley to run. Allen hit. He lost the football.
Let's go, baby.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Ready. Hey, come on. Go. Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right.
A 1st down carry for Henry. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Eight yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
I'm here all day. Rush in.
Again, it's Henry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Allen going to throw. Steps away to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Willie Henry muscled his way in for the sack.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
From the 36, Stafford. This one caught by Ridley. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On first down, Stafford here. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
On second down, it's Hines. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you get success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Now, this was still going to be a one-score game either way, but still, that's a potentially harmful miss here in the 4th.
It certainly is, because if you consider that now if they give up a touchdown, they give up the lead. So he might be getting the side eye by the defenders coming out on the field now as he goes back to the bench after that miss.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. From midfield, here's Allen. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. On the ground, Kamara. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Here's Allen. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Now Allen, going to throw again. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a 1st down on that last catch as well.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand.
Oh, no, he lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. 2nd down and goal. Allen. Flushed out right. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd and goal now in a one-score game. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
They do tack on the extra point as well, so it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages as a field goal now can only tie it. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So Matthew Stafford in the offense. Down by a field goal. 1:54 on the clock. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a 1st down. A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. 2 division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. He's back to throw. He was trying to get it to A.J. Brown that time. And now it's 3rd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go on 4th. Stafford. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Back to throw. Dumping it off for Johnson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. He'll look to throw. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Blue 60! Mike 27! It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
On 1st down. Hines. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Hey, check Mike 47. Check Mike 47. So don't say
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 19-yard line.
Check, lady. Mike 58, right there. Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Back to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick here is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
45. Mike, 45.
Back to throw. Allen. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback. Watch the safety creep. Check Mike 47. Check quarterback.
First throw of overtime for Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ryan Anderson in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
What will they draw up to try to keep this opening drive of overtime moving? 3rd and 7. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Part 1 is done, now part 2. Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Stafford gives to Johnson on the draw, and he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll run on first down. It's Hines, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here we go. Here's the line. Here's the line.
Now Stafford with his first throw of OT. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Harper. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. To throw again on second down. Stafford looking end zone, but it's incomplete. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. And the Saints signal for another timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. So a big, big kick coming now for Jake Elliott. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And he got it! The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And they have regained the lead. That
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for Atlanta, it took a few weeks, but they're into the win column now at 1-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now.